What's up guys, Justin Greenwald here, welcome to 65 Drums. Back from a 10-day camp I was at, using both of those drum sets, and I just thought I'd do a time-lapse setting up the conversion drum set. Felt like doing a vlog-ish type video today. Took the acoustic drum set in this car right here. Somehow, I fit it all in this Toyota Corolla, or whatever the heck it is. I wasn't quite sure if it would fit or not. Moved the front seat right there forward. I could actually fit the bass drum right there. Ryan kindly took the truck and brought the Kat percussion drum set. Say hi, Ryan. He's hiding behind the bushes. What we did was all the pads and everything went in the cab right there. That way, if it rained on the way there, because it's like an hour-and-a-half drive, nothing would get damaged and nothing would get wet or anything. And then for all the stands right there, we used moving blankets and pretty securely wrapped everything. Moving blankets are actually pretty heavy, and you'd think that they'd start flying out of the back of the truck, but they really didn't. And it actually protects the truck bed from any scratches or anything. So got the hi-hat stand there, and then underneath all this other stuff, that's the drum rack right there. I'm gonna unload the rest from the car and the rest from the truck, and then set it up. Say hi. Hey Zoe, how's it going? The module is usually like 40% of the cost of the entire drum set, since this drum set usually goes for 1,200 bucks, and this is like 500 bucks by itself. So I always take extra precautions. With the TD30, I actually transported it in the front seat of my car, and I always want to be careful with it. I usually mount the drum module on this guy right here. It's part of a Go Edrum drum rack, and that little arm, I just attach the bottom of the drum mount right here to that, and it's a really nice system. I can add an extra side snare, an extra cymbal, whatever I need to do. Since I wasn't gonna bring that because it takes way too much room, I decided that I would just remove the mount from the back, so it just connects via some screws. So remove that, and I actually ended up using a djembe. I literally brought a djembe just to put my drum module on it. So, got to put those screws back in so that I can mount this back on the drum rack. A lot of different drummers were using this drum set, and right here, near the center dot right there, you can see a lot of little micro tears into one of the layers of this Jobeky 3-ply mesh drum head. Mesh drum heads, they have a lifespan just like acoustic drum heads. Depending on the drummer, they'll last, for a long time or not very long at all. But I don't think you should assume your mesh drum head should last for 10 years straight. The guys that play really soft, maybe. For real world use, I think you're eventually gonna have to replace the mesh drum heads. And I already have an idea eventually what I want to replace that snare drum head with. So one thing a bunch of guys probably don't realize is the fact that you don't have to use those Roland, what do you call them? I don't have a technical term for it. Anyway, the Roland ones are plastic, and sometimes the inside threads right there can get stripped out. So even when you're using a Roland drum rack, you can actually go find one of these that's the same thread size. Sometimes when the inside threads of these get stripped out, they just sort of end up scooting upwards, and then the cymbal's just going all over the place. So I really like using these metal ones because I can really crank it down and make sure the cymbal is firmly in place. I kind of go overboard every time I play out somewhere. I just stuff everything imaginable in one of these boxes. I'll like bring an extra drum beater. Right now I'm actually bringing extra drum triggers in case the Jobeky ones inside of there fail for some reason. You really never know. Duct tape, believe it or not, this has come in handy before. I always bring a direct box. Let me see. Always headphones. I don't always use the headphones. Sometimes I'll just use a monitor that's on stage. Sometimes the soundman will actually send a feed to me and I'll put it in my 1/4 inch input, the mix input of the Roland TD30 drum module, but I always bring headphones just because. Power cord, like an extension cable. A lot of people don't realize that you're not always gonna be 2 feet away from a power source. And sometimes you just need an extra power cable. So I always bring an extension cable right here in case I'm really far from an outlet somewhere. And I have this extra cable right here in case I forget to bring my power cable for my Roland TD30. Yes, I have forgotten my power cable before, so I always have an extra one just to save myself in case that ever happens again. I'll usually put my VH11 in one of these boxes too, because you don't want to leave it on the stand. It will probably fall off the stand and then who knows where it could end up. And let me see, what else do I bring in here? Oh yeah, these are what go on top of Roland cymbals, and this is really small and plastic, and I really don't like using these at all. I bring extra cables. I bring a lot of cables because you never know. Actually, there was the guy doing a slideshow presentation. He didn't have a way to connect his laptop to the speakers, but I just so happened to bring an XLR to 1/4 inch, and then I also had an adapter that went from 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch. So I was able to help him out with that. So the one stupid thing about using an acoustic drum set and electronic components is the tangled mess that is the wires. I mean, you gotta put in a lot of inputs into a drum module, and this isn't even a big setup. It's just 2 floor toms, 1 high tom, rise cymbal, crash, and then another crash right here, hi-hat, snare. There's some people that are masters of this. Also, there are people that have more patience than me. I think those are two things that are very important that I do not have. Another thing is I've gotten this kick drum a lot quieter. In a previous video, I was talking about how, the acoustic kick drums are really loud, and they are probably still louder than most electronic kick drums, but I stuffed a lot of blankets inside of there. And it's really improved the overall acoustic volume of it. It's not perfect, but that is a big improvement. There's no ringing, the sound's more dead, and it also helps with the feel. I'm having second thoughts on this Pintex Silent something or other rim. I made a review of this one versus the what is this, the UFO drums rim that I did not buy enough of to cover that spot right there. This one's a lot thinner, this one's a lot thicker. And it's kind of raised, and it gives the drum a different feeling than I'm used to with the regular Roland PD 120 pad or whatever it's called. Okay, so I'm pretty much done here. The rest of that right there is all just gonna be fine tuning, moving a drum an inch this way, an inch that way. You know how it is. Maybe adjusting some cables, and I don't know what it is, but I've gotta get cymbals like rearranged a lot of different times to get them perfect. I really like having cymbals in an exact angle. Maybe that's just me. What's the one thing that you guys obsess over? Is it like how you place your snare? Is it like the floor tom? Do you need it angled a certain way? I feel like we all have that one thing that we got to get it positioned just right. I feel like some guys out there, they'll have their snare and then they'll have a floor tom like really far away. They might not have this one right here. They might just have a floor tom way off in the middle of nowhere, it seems like. It's harder for me to do fills like that. Also, I don't really like having a tom like way over here for some reason on like a straight stand. That's just me. Everyone has their own preference. Thought you guys might enjoy me doing this quick time lapse talking about you know, different things. I'm working on a video right now talking about the Kat Percussion KT4 because I use that drum set live too, and it got a lot of live use. When I did my review for this drum set, the KT4 drum set, I hadn't actually played live with it yet. So now I've got it, you know, some live use in, and that gives you a different perspective on the drum set or the drum module. So I'm gonna make a video about that soon. Anyway, I'm back from the vacation. You're gonna see videos more frequently now. Thank you guys for sticking around. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and see you in a few.